Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this Berkeley County Board of Education meeting this Tuesday, October 23rd, 2018. I call this meeting to order. I declare a quorum is present and the media has been notified. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved. Second.
There's a motion by Mr. McClellan, a second by Mr. Ramsey to approve the agenda. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Nay. The motion carries. I'll now entertain a motion to approve the minutes for the board meeting on October 9th, 2018.
So moved. Second.
There's a motion by Mr. McClellan, a second by Mr. Ramsey to approve the minutes for October 9th, 2018. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Nay. Please now stand for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Bowens Corner Elementary student Nathan Brooks.
I pledge the allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. We will now have entertainment by the Bowens Corner Elementary Chorus, the Soarin' Singers. Thank you so much. Next, we'll move on to the Legacy Builders, our special recognitions. Miss Katie Tanner Orban.
All right, good evening, Chair Wofford, Superintendent Ingram, members of the board, and all of you who have come to be with us tonight. It is my pleasure to introduce our Legacy Builders for the month. And our first Legacy Builder for this evening is Miss Sarah Mundy. Sarah is a senior swimmer at Berkeley High who previously won state championships in her swimming events as a junior. Earlier this month, Sarah Mundy was runner-up in the Class 5A in 50-meter freestyle and placed third in the state in the 100-meter freestyle. Sarah is an accomplished sprint swimmer who will be swimming for Colorado State next year, but I think it's important to mention that her favorite is the butterfly. So please join me in congratulating Sarah for two top 3 finishes at the state meet.
Mom, athletic director, there are people here to come take a picture, get the good picture. Yeah, we'll look at
Rams. I've been swimming. No. It's on. I'll also know what to do.
Thank you.
How long have we been swimming? Well, we had swimming. All the schools did more swimming.
And then if everybody can look at me.
All
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, one more. 1, 2, 3. Awesome.
So cross kids can go to reference.
Congratulations, Sarah. We look forward to hearing all that you will accomplish next year, too. The 2018 Excellence in Mathematics Teaching Award is who we will recognize next as our recipients. That is an award that's sponsored by Tri-County Cradle to Career Collaborative. It honors and spotlights mathematics teachers and administrators who are working tirelessly to train our future workforce. Mathematics professionals from the 4 regional school districts were nominated by their peers for this award, and we are pleased to announce that 2 of our own Berkeley County School District teachers received this award. First, I would like to invite up Ms. Hannah Cato from Berkeley Intermediate School. Hannah is in her 5th year of teaching 3rd grade math at Berkeley Intermediate School. She has been named Rookie Teacher of the Year and Teacher of the Year in the 5 years that she has led as a classroom teacher. Congratulations, Hannah.
Come closer. Sorry. This is the highlight of the board meeting. They're all fit in. After y'all leave, then we're going to just have to do work and whatnot.
And I'll also say, I know that Hannah also recently celebrated her marriage, so she may have has a new last name too. All right, our next recipient is Miss Meg Ward. And Meg Ward joins us from Stratford High School. Ms. Ward is in her 25th year of teaching at Stratford, where she not long ago attended there as a student. She is currently making a huge difference at her school, and she hopes to retire from her alma mater.
It was a long time. It was a long time.
Like 3 years ago?
Yeah.
So congratulations to Ms. Cato and Ms. Ward. I know this is a time where math teachers are sometimes in very high demand, and you are obviously both doing an excellent job and are great role models for the teachers to come. So that concludes our legacy builders for tonight.
It is the highlight of our meetings to get to recognize folks doing great stuff in all different areas of Berkeley County School District, statewide, nationally, and otherwise. If you came just for legacy builders and would like to go home, we would invite you to go home and do something more fun than a school board meeting. But we will keep moving on if you'd like to stay with us. We're moving on to agenda item 4A, which is citizen comments. There are no citizen comments registered prior to the meeting. We'll now move on to the committee reports. We'll start with the Committee on Academics and Innovation, Chairwoman Ann Condor.
Madam Chairman, the Committee on Academics and Innovation met on October the 9th, 2018. On recommendation of the committee, I move to approve the Head Start Budget Expenditures Report for August 2018, Head Start Credit Card Report for August 2018, and prospective new hires as submitted by administration.
We have a recommendation from committee. No second is required. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The motion carries.
Madam Chairman, that concludes my report.
Next is the Committee on Finance and Human Resources, Chairman Michael Ramsey.
Madam Chairwoman, the Committee on Finance and Human Resources met on October 9, 2018. On recommendation of the committee, I move to approve second and final reading to adopt policy IKFC and Rule IKFC-R, employability credential.
We have a recommendation from committee. No second is required. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The motion carries.
Also on recommendation of the committee, I move to approve second and final reading to adopt Exhibit GBP-E, Application for Emergency Catastrophic Leave Program.
We have a recommendation from committee. No second is required. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The motion carries.
Also on recommendation of the committee, I move to approve the first reading for deletion of policy EGB, Student Athletic and Volunteer Insurance Coverage, and revision of policy JGA, Student Insurance Program.
There's a recommendation from the committee. No second is required. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The motion carries.
Also on recommendation of the committee, I move to approve the recommended change in pay structure for Kelly Educational Services as submitted by administration.
We have a recommendation from committee. No second is required. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Also on recommendation of the committee, I move to approve the 2018-2019 capital projects budget as submitted by administration.
We have a recommendation from the committee. No second is required. Is there any further discussion?
I have just a question, Madam Chair.
Yes, sir. Mr. Barrow.
The over-budgeted amount of $8,700,000. I was thinking about this from the last meeting till this meeting, and I recall there was an overage of $7.2 million somewhere around the first of the year. And I was thinking that the bond referendum actually took care of that 7.2. So I'm wondering if that's the case. If that is the case, why is there an 8.7 overage now? Because there was a 7.2, am I correct? So the bond
That was actually a full 18 months ago because Mr. Jackson was serving as interim superintendent when we made that presentation. So that's, about 18 months ago was the 7.2 number.
Okay, so the 8.7 had nothing to do, the 7.2 was taken care of by the bond referendum. Not the bond referendum, the actual bond issuance. Didn't we issue bonds to take care of that 7.2? Okay, so the 7.2 now is 8.7. So the 7.2 was never paid. It was never resolved. So it's now, instead of 8.7 additional, it's only a 1.5 additional. Is that correct? Yes. Okay, that answers my question. Thank you very much.
Any additional discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Also on recommendation of the committee, I move to approve out-of-state travel request as presented.
There's a recommendation from committee. No second is required. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The motion carries.
Also on recommendation of the committee, I move to award Lot 1 of RFP 526-17-18 to provide compactor hauling disposal services, compactor cleaning and repair services, and new compactors as needed for the district to Carolina Waste and Recycling, LLC, for an initial term of 1 year with the option to renew for 4 additional one-year terms with an estimated total contract value of $1,678,872.94.
I would like to, so there's a recommendation from committee, no second is required. On to discussion. Do you know this item was the item that was heard by the procurement committee? Ms. Condor, do you have any other comments about?
Other than the fact that the appeal that was made by that particular vendor was denied.
So this was the first, we've actually had a procurement committee process for a long time, but as far as I can remember, probably, Marcy, I don't know, as far as you can remember, we have not actually executed the hearing process. So I am very proud of the board for having a procurement hearing and going through the process and exercising judgment and bringing this back to the board. Of course, if you ever have hearings or grievances of any kind, there could be a lawsuit in the future, but if we're faced with that, we'll deal with that. This was the low bid, and this is the bid that's best for the school district.
Right. There was a presentation made by Ms. Abramson. I think I'm pronouncing it correctly, Marcy. Anyway, she followed all the protocol, and it was found that the appellate did not follow all the appropriate protocol. Therefore, he lost his appeal. And so the folks that won the appeal or won the bid are the ones who were getting this particular bid.
And for the benefit of the public, the procurement committee has professionals from construction and from Berkeley County construction and other
and also
industries.
Legal.
And legal counsel. Excuse me, and legal counsel
Right.
and a board member. So
Right.
I know that's extra work to go through a grievance process, but I'm very proud of us for carrying out that process appropriately. I know most of the board members probably know that, but for the benefit of the public, that's extra work, but it was done correctly, so I'm appreciative of that.
Right.
There are no other discussions. We'll call the question. All in favor, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The motion carries.
Also on recommendation of the committee, I move to award RFP 540-18-19 for reconditioning and hygiene services for football helmets and equipment to Schultz Sports for an initial one-year term with the option to renew for 4 additional one-year terms with an estimated total contract value of $210,000.
We have a recommendation from committee. No second is required. Is there any additional discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The motion carries.
Madam Chairwoman, that concludes my report.
Next on the agenda is Agenda Item 7A. Dr. Ingram, the Superintendent's Report.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the audience and staff. First, I want to commend the board again. I won't show this to everybody, but the board was hard at work at 5 o'clock developing protocols and first drafts for how it will conduct its business as a public body. I want to commend the board because after 38 years of service in public education in more than one state and in several states, counting my time at the State Department in another entity, it's rare to have a board that is committed to the standards and willing to put it in writing and live by those standards. This is not any type of political statement. It's just a statement of fact. And as a superintendent, I really do appreciate that. So the board is to be commended for that because our processes are team-oriented and with the goal of getting better. Not to get anybody, but to get better and to earn public trust every day with the dollars that we spend. And ensure the public that we are striving to educate kids for your future, their future, not my past. So I'm real proud of the board. Also, thanks to Principal Fulmer. Amy, thank you very much. And their staff and the children at Bowens Corner Elementary School for sharing your facility with us this evening. We're working through punch list items that inevitably sprout with any new construction. If you've ever built a home, you know that, oh, gee, I wish we had done this or done that. Oh, looks, we missed that. So we're working through those items, and thanks for your patience. But the building looks good, and you've taken good care of it so far. Thank you very much. Last Friday, Sue and I were honored to ride in the Timberland Homecoming Parade. Later in the evening, we doubled back and took in the Stratford-Berkeley game. This week, I'll be attending the Cane Bay and Berkeley game. Several of our teams are jockeying for playoff positions. After Friday, I will have seen each of our teams compete at least once, and I'll continue to follow our programs as we compete in the upcoming playoffs. And congratulations are in order for the Cane Bay High Cobra Chorale. They competed in the Southern Sings Choral Invitational at Georgia Southern University this past weekend. We were the only choir competing from South Carolina, and the Cobra Chorale won the mixed choir division and were the overall grand champion for the event. So congratulations to the Cane Bay Cobra Chorale. The Student Council at Cane Bay High School hosted a 15-state Student Council Leadership Conference this past weekend at Cane Bay High. There were over 800 students and about 200 adult chaperones who attended the event, again, from 15 different states. I was asked to address the students for a few minutes regarding leadership. There were many impassioned presentations by the students, including a moving speech by a student at Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, if you'll remember that tragedy. So they were represented at this event. And of course, thanks, Susan, for being there with me for moral support. You're at a lot of things, just as a lot of our other staff are, and it did not go unnoticed. 2 of our Berkeley County School District athletes and 1 coach were selected for the 2018 Shrine Bowl. Berkeley wide receiver DJ Chisholm and Hanahan defensive lineman Cooper Dawson are 2 of the 3 low-country athletes representing South Carolina. Coach Steve Blanchard of Hanahan was selected as an assistant coach to this year's South Carolina team. Congratulations to those athletes and the coach. 3 Berkeley County marching bands will compete in the South Carolina State Marching Band Finals this coming Saturday. They are Goose Creek High School, Stratford High School, and Phillips Simmons High School, and we know they will represent us well this weekend, and we wish them the best. This morning, the design team and cabinet previewed the documentary Most Likely to Succeed. We are planning for a screening and with community and county leaders to help us define the life and work skills we should be developing in our youth in order for them to be successful in the 21st century. The design team, with the Board of Education's commitments in mind, will be revisiting and revising our vision and mission for your consideration as a public. I am scheduled to visit 7 schools later this week to conduct evaluation conferences and observe school operations. And I would like to recognize the following members of the Teacher Forum that are present for tonight's meeting. Sarah Kamen, Stratford High School. Sarah, are you here? Yeah, they're in the back, sitting in the back. Thank you very much. Lisa Mugaya. Lisa, thank you very much. College Park Middle. Maria Earl, College Park Elementary. Maria, thank you. Heather Walsh, Marrington Elementary School. Thank you so much. You are the true heroes. Of course, Nick, thank you. And Nick is part of our design team and had great input in this morning's meeting. So, Madam Chair and members of the staff and audience, that concludes my report for the evening.
Thank you, Dr. Ingram. We'll move on to Agenda Item 8A, the Board Chair Report, upcoming dates and events. I do need a delegate for the Legislative Conference for the South Carolina School Board Association in Charleston. It's December 7th through the 9th. I need a delegate and an alternate. Is anybody willing to serve as the delegate to vote our votes at the School Board Association?
For what association?
School Board Association, December 7th through 9th. This will be the Legislative Conference. If you're willing to serve, let me know. We do need a delegate and an alternate. It is in Charleston, but that is a tough weekend in December. It is. They're closer to Christmas this year than they have been in the past. So if you're able to serve in either capacity, please let me know. Normally, the vote will take place on Sunday morning. So there'll be presentations and information on Friday night and Saturday, and they'll vote on Sunday. So if anybody's willing to serve. And I guess it is an event or an upcoming date. I would like to recognize Ms. Shannon Lee for her 8 years of service on the school board. Tonight is her last meeting. So we want to honor and recognize her for many long hours serving the school district. We appreciate you, and yeah, I don't know what you're going to do with all this free time.
Lots of kid stuff.
So Ms. Lee has some teenage kids, and that takes a lot of effort. So she is very sad to step down, but she's going to go serve the kids at her house for a little bit, and maybe she'll make it back one day. But thank you, Ms. Lee, for 8 years of service. We'll now entertain a motion to adjourn into executive session.
I make
So
the
moved.
motion.
There's a motion by Ms. Condor,
Second.
the second by Mr. Ramsey, to enter into executive session for the stated reason of discussion of a pending employment matter to include the appointment of an administrator. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. We are in executive session. I'll now entertain a motion to return to regular session.
So moved. Second.
There's a motion by Mr. McQuillan, a second by Mr. Ramsey. To return to regular session, I'd like to state for the record that no action was taken in executive session. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. We are in regular session. We'll now move on to Agenda Item 10A, action as required from executive session.
Madam Chair, I move to accept the recommendation of the administration to name Mr. Charles Sweeney as the new ELA coordinator for 6th through 12th grade, with a contract to take effect as soon as suitable replacement is found for his current position.
Second. There's a motion by Ms. Lee, a second by Wofford, to accept the recommendation of the administration to name Mr. Charles Sweeney as the new ELA coordinator for the 6th through 12th, with a contract to take effect as soon as a suitable replacement is found for the current position. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The motion carries. Mr. Sweeney could not be here tonight, so I'm sure he expressed that he was disappointed, but we are very excited for him to come on as the ELA coordinator, and I'm sure Berkeley High School will miss him, but we will be happy for him to be in the district office as soon as we can get another English teacher at Berkeley High School. All right, Moving on to agenda item 11A. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Let's let Shannon make it since this is her last meeting. She can make her final motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
There's a motion by Ms. Lee, a second by Mr. McQuillan to adjourn. Congratulations on a well-spent tenure on the board, Ms. Lee. We will miss you. Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. We are adjourned.